Hey guys, welcome to the first video in the series, in the playlist, or whatever you want to call that, on how to secure your presence online. Now, we're going to talk about your initial connection to the internet today, right? And that's something you have to take a serious look at and secure that. And if you were like 95% of the people, probably 99% of the people, you have a serious security hole there, right? So let me give you an example of something that goes on in a hack that goes along with it. Okay? You go into your favorite coffee shop. Now, being the fact that I'm Canadian, I don't go to Starbucks. We go to Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons has public Wi-Fi, and it's not bad Wi-Fi. You know, considering the fact that it's free with your coffee type of thing, it's not a bad Wi-Fi. Got a room full of people. Tim Hortons is a franchise phenomenon, especially in Ontario. Right? I don't know about the rest of Canada. I know on the East Coast it's huge too, right? But they sling unbelievable amounts of coffee, and they are nowhere near as expensive as Starbucks is. So Tim Hortons 24/7 is jammed. There are even Tim Hortons open on Christmas Day, and on Christmas Day, they're jammed, right? It's just a remarkable franchise. Now, you go in there because you want to get some work done. Maybe the kids are driving you a little bit crazy, but you want to go in, so you take your laptop, you go sit down, get yourself a coffee. It's quiet enough in there that you can get some work done, and you connect to their Wi-Fi to go to the internet. And the first thing that you do is you're like, well, I better go pay the internet bill at home, speaking of internet. So you go and you log into your bank account, and you click on the pay thing. It says Pay Cogeco, and you pay them their exorbitant fee for their capped internet. And away you go. You log off, and then you go and you check your email, and then you do a little bit of web surfing, and then you decide, you know what, I think while I'm here, maybe I will get this, whatever it is, off of Amazon right now and get that done, and then I'll be good. Okay? And you don't think anything of it. When you go to your bank, you have the little, in the corner of your web browser, you have the little padlock that's green, especially if you're using Firefox or Chrome. It'll be a little green padlock. So my connection is secure. Yeah, no, it's not. Not even close. Right? Now, let me give you an example of what just went on in that coffee shop, because you lost all of your credentials to log into your bank account. You lost all of your credit card information when you went to Amazon. Someone in Tim Hortons sitting there with you has absolutely everything, and he's probably enjoying a nice cappuccino while he's getting it, and you have no clue what happened. What happened? Well, in his backpack, and I'm stereotyping. Oh, please forgive me for stereotyping, but because I'm calling the hacker a guy, and that's not really true. There's probably the ratio today is probably about 60-40 right now. That 40% are probably female. Okay. He's sitting in Tim Hortons with his backpack on the floor, and he could be even on his own computer. Who knows? Maybe he's talking with a friend and drinking a coffee. And nothing looks out of the ordinary as to what's going on. Not a thing. Everything just looks fine. But inside his backpack is a little device that looks like the old police scanner. Right? You had that big, stiff rubber antenna on it, and it was long body, but crystals in it. Well, they had programmable ones that looked the same. And it's connected up to another little box. Right? It's about that big. And that little box is called a Raspberry Pi. Not that they necessarily needed to care about that. And what that is that's a very small, very powerful little computer. That runs about $35. And what this little device is doing is it is putting out a signal pretending to be Tim Hortons Wi-Fi. In fact, it will even say Tim Hortons on it. Now, sometimes these guys, their systems are good enough that they will spoof the name of Tim Hortons Wi-Fi exactly and overpower their Wi-Fi, because your system will pick the strongest signal. Right? Now, if you've got a room, Tim Hortons, with 100 people in it, and everybody's on the Wi-Fi because they're all on the Wi-Fi, that signal can be diminished because of the load on it, right? But this one could be more powerful, or it could be the same name, and it could have something different about it that makes you think that that's the one that you go to. Either way, they're going to get somebody while they're in there drinking their coffee. And then what you have here from there is his little device, his Raspberry Pi, and his Wi-Fi broadcaster are hooked to Tim Hortons internet. So when you go log on, you are diverted directly through that system, through into the Tim Hortons internet, and you're online, and you don't know anything is going on. But everything you type, every website you visit, every input you make is all captured by his device. And now he can go home, he can look at what he's picked up, and oh look, here's the bank card. Let's see how much is in this account right now, and perhaps I'll go make a purchase with it. Right? Because he has all of that information. Same with the credit card when you go on there. Now, this type of a thing, when they do these types of hacks, quite often nothing happens for quite a long time. Right? Because a lot of these guys are essentially mules, and they sell this information to other people who sell the information to other people. So it can be as long as 2 years from the time you were hacked to the time you realize that something has gone wrong. Because it's not like the days of old when they would jump right in, and while he's sitting there, he'd go and he'd buy something with your credit card, right? All of this information could be used later on. You never knew it happened, but you committed a critical error in your thinking when you were online to start with. Now, this can happen at home. If you've got a Wi-Fi router at home, this can happen at home. That could be outside the parking lot of your building. Oh, look, here is so-and-so's Wi-Fi. Well, let's overpower it, right? Because your Wi-Fi will pick the strongest signal. This is especially true if you have an unsecured Wi-Fi. Now, you make their lives far more miserable if your Wi-Fi device is secured with a strong password, but that doesn't stop it completely either, because they could be getting their internet signal to provide you your gateway to the internet through another medium, right? But they will pick up something. And how many places have you gone and never looked at your phone, especially? Because your phone is the one that's always with you. And went, oh, look, they've got free Wi-Fi here. I didn't know that. Let's see how it is. And click on it. All the time. Right? Downtown Windsor has free Wi-Fi. Last time I was in Windsor, it was pretty piss poor, but it's still free. All the coffee shops have free Wi-Fi, right? And the first time you log on to them, the system remembers them, and there you are. It's not hard for them to do this. And this is just an example of one such attack. So what can you do to prevent that? It's not hard to prevent it. You can make it impossible for them to steal that information. Right? And I do mean impossible, because what you can do is essentially unhackable. Now, there's no such thing truly as something that is unhackable. However, hackers do go for low-hanging fruit. They're not going to sit there in a coffee shop downtown trying to get into your system when there's an easier one there. Right? And quite often, a lot of those guys just don't have those particular skills to pull off a high-end hack. So what are you going to do? You never log onto the internet without a VPN. What is a VPN? A VPN is what is called a virtual private network, which means, first off and most importantly, when the signal to the internet leaves your device, whether it be a laptop or a computer, it is encrypted. And it is encrypted with a strong encryption. Okay? And the only way to decrypt it is with the encryption keys. So here you are this time in Tim Hortons, and you log into their Wi-Fi, but it's the hacker's Wi-Fi. And he's still capturing all of that data from you, but it's unreadable. It's encrypted, and there isn't anything he can do to break that code without those encryption keys. Right? So you are no longer low-hanging fruit. Now, a genius hacker at this particular point in time is going to do his very best to find a back door into your system to find those keys. But let's face it, you're in Tim Hortons. You're not that interesting. That type of hack is reserved for somebody that they know the payload is huge if they get into the system. But we're talking about the everyday person. Right? Something else that it does, aside from encrypt that, it also hides you. Because when you log on to Tim Hortons Internet or you're using your own, you no longer are using their IP address. Okay? The IP address assigned by Tim Hortons' provider of Internet service is no longer the one being used. You're using the IP of whatever the virtual private network is, which makes you unidentifiable. Okay? Right now, as I am talking to you, this signal is being routed somewhere through Belgium. I could be anywhere in the world, but you're going to get an IP address for Belgium. That's a little bit inconvenient at times because security and especially privacy, those things come with a price. Everything comes with a price. Right? As an example, if I go to a website that I have never visited before and therefore I don't have a cookie from it, there's a very good chance it's going to present me the information in French because it's Belgium. Or maybe Dutch when it's in the Netherlands. Right? But you go to the bottom and you go, no, dude, I speak English. And you click the icon and everything's happy again. Right? But that protects you. It protects you. Now, there's a lot of people that think, well, they just use that because they want to pirate things and stuff like that. Well, yeah, people do that. No doubt. But that's not the purpose of the VPN. That's what the powers that be will say. Well, don't use a VPN. That's only something that crooks do. Yeah, that's why the government people do it, right? Makes perfect sense to me. Don't listen to that propaganda out there, right? You can tell how important a VPN is because there are countries where it is illegal to have one. Right? France, it is illegal in France for you to have a VPN. Right? You're not allowed to hook up to one. Now, I myself, on my laptop that I'm recording this on, I use a company called AirVPN. My mobile phone, I have my own personal VPN connected to a server I have created a server for it. It goes along with a cloud instance that's very similar to Dropbox, and I take my security and privacy very seriously. My files are in a private cloud server that I run, and my cell phone VPN is there also, and I've got that there simply because I want to see how it performs, and so far it performs admirably. But I have to take a look at bandwidth usage before I switch from on my desktop over to that to see if it's worth doing, right? Because you have to consider bandwidth as well. How much data are you chewing up? Now, the beautiful thing about AirVPN, and the reason that I actually like them, aside from the fact that they support Linux out of the box, very easy support for Linux, and I'm a Linux user. Other ones do that as well. However, AirVPN uses the OpenVPN source code, which makes me happy, right? Because that is solid, excellent code that is being monitored by developers all the time and improved all the time. And you get the benefits of those improvements. But also AirVPN was the collaboration of a bunch of hackers who have done it all before and have become what are referred to as white hat or ethical hackers, and they want to protect people's privacy rather than violate it in this day and age, right? So you are looking at a company that the people that are involved in it understand the risks in the industry. The next thing you have to consider when you are using a VPN is speed. Now, on a cell phone, speed is not that big a deal, right? On your desktop, it can be. I know I do extensive video work for the different businesses I'm involved with, and that means I need speed and bandwidth because I don't want to be waiting 6 hours for this video to upload to YouTube that you're watching right now. It needs to go up quickly. And I've been very, very impressed with AirVPN because it's not uncommon. I've got a fiber optic connection here. I can still get 200 down, 100 up midday no problem. 100 megabytes up, no problem. More than enough for what I need for streaming and those types of things. Now I'm going to leave you a link down below to go check out AirVPN. And if you use that link, yes, I get credit for it. Okay? But this is the product that I use. I'm not telling you to go use something else. This is the product I use. I'm really happy with it. And we have to do something to generate income so that we can bring you free content, because nothing in the world is free, right? There always has to be something that goes through that way. Anyways, guys, that's it for this particular video, in the first in this series on securing your internet connection, right? There's going to be 5 videos in this particular topic for sure. So you're definitely going to want to check them all out. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you find out about new videos coming up. The purpose of Digital Wasteland is to provide you with methods by which to increase your privacy, take your privacy back from these big companies so they're not mining your data all the time, and increasing your security. And today, with the fact that we are always connected, this has become more critical than you could ever imagine, right? This is going to be a great channel, guys. You're going to love it, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Ciao.